Good afternoon, fight fans, and welcome to UFC Fight Week on Fox, brought to you by Musashi. We are broadcasting from Los Angeles here in sunny California ahead of UFC 298 this weekend, where one of the brightest prospects the featherweight division has ever seen, Ilia Topuria, looks to dethrone one of the greatest of all time, Australia's own Alexander Volkanovski. In the co-main event, Australia's first ever UFC champion, Robert Whittaker, is on a quest to reclaim his championship belt, and his road to redemption begins this weekend against Brazilian Paulo Costa. The Aussies are taking over America, so from the Golden State, welcome to Fight Week.
I never thought I'd struggle with it, but I mean, like, for some reason, when I wasn't fighting or in camp, I just do my head in, you know what I mean? I needed a fight, and then this opportunity come up, and, you know, I'll be honest, I wasn't training as much as I should have, but I thought I had to, you know, I had to do it.
I'm different. This is what's made me a champion. When things don't go my way, I'm not going to sit there and dwell on it. I'm a very calculated guy. It's very easy for me to see what went wrong. I don't look at that as like, oh, that's the fighter I am now. No way. Now people get to see the bounce back. And a part of that story isn't just any bounce back. Me going back to my division against a young, hungry, undefeated prospect.
Guy, without any doubt. I come what deserves to me, which is to be the #1, to take that UFC belt.
Huge competition for the Spaniard.
There's going to be questions, oh, is he done? Is he too old? Whatever it is. And that makes it more exciting. I get to, you know, obviously finish this chapter of my story with a big win and remind people of the guy I am and have been for so long.
Oh, Rodriguez really hurt now, covering up.
Whoever's next, Ilia been running his mouth. If he wants to keep going, I'll show him what's up and I'll squash him too. You wait till you see what happens, eh?
I'm preparing for a young, hungry, hot prospect that everyone's raving on about. Powerful dude, undefeated. He maybe is as good as he says. You haven't showed me that against high-level guys. I've got the backing of multiple performances against the top guys. I believe I'm better than him everywhere. My hype has been earned.
Well, we're here at Brazilian top team in Orange County. Alexander Volkanovski, welcome to Los Angeles. Thanks so much for your time on Fox Sports.
No worries, mate. It's always good to see you. It's always good to be here in the States, obviously fighting this weekend, or this week coming. So, very excited.
The first thing I noticed, Alex, when you walked in the door was how stoic you looked, how serious and focused you are for this fight. Would that be fair to say that you're more focused than other previous fight weeks?
I don't know. Like, I guess you could say that. I just think I'm just, dialed in, you know. Fight camp went really well. You know, everything peaked at the perfect time. And yeah, I mean, really good nick, really ready. And yeah, can't wait to just put it all on the line this weekend. You know what I mean? I've been, obviously the talk's been done. He's been doing a great job, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the fact that I need to be the experienced dad, you could say, that's got to teach this bloke a lesson, you know what I mean? So maybe that's the role I'm playing, I don't know, but I'm definitely dialed in.
Yeah, well, there are certainly many angles from which we can approach this weekend, but I think the biggest storyline heading into this fight against Ilia Topuria on Sunday is how you bounce back from that devastating loss to Islam Makhachev back in October. Obviously the first time you had been knocked out. As the dust has settled on that, Alex, how do you reflect on what took place last time out?
Oh man, like I've completely moved on, you know what I mean? It's that's one good thing about me. Like as soon as I got a job in front of me or a goal, that's it. I'm locked in, and that was the case. So obviously I knew I was going to be fighting Ilia, so I was able to move on. But it was just about, all right, like, you know, with concussion protocols and whatnot, the right time. And we thought, yeah, we could have maybe did it in January, but that would have been rushing things. So we pushed it back to February, which was perfect, you know what I mean? So it was actually a good way to get over it as well. Obviously, I don't like losing, you know, so that did hurt, but at the same time, you know, obviously I try to challenge myself. I try to do something that was always going to be a tall ask, and you know, it just shows you how important preparation is. So it was easier for me to sort of move on and sort of lock in. All right, now preparation I need to take seriously because we don't want a result like last time. So you know, that's just how it is. So it was easy for me to move on.
You didn't look like yourself in Abu Dhabi. I remember we were saying in the back, "Come on, Volk, let it go, pull the trigger." It never came. Why do you think you were so gun shy against this?
Ah, man, that's exactly what it was. You know, everyone knows I like to throw a bit of volume and put a bit of confusion in front of my opponents. They don't have to land, but I like them to fight my fight, and I just couldn't do that. Look, I don't take nothing away from Islam. Like, you know, maybe it was something he was doing too, but because I wanted to fight at a closer range. I knew my only chance of winning was to catch him. You know, I wasn't expecting to go out there and win a decision with the preparation and notice I had. So I thought I'd be very dangerous and be able to pull the trigger. So I fought at a closer range, and I just couldn't. You know what I mean? I was there. I was like, you know, trying to talk to myself, go, you got to go, you got to go. Yeah. But that's why I've always been such a big believer in preparation. That's what's made me the champion I am. That's what's made me the fighter I am, the athlete I am. I've always said, like, you know, I'm not some crazy athlete. It's just that work ethic and, you know, and preparation. My fight IQ, all the right stuff, all them little things that separates me from everyone. And I've always said that. But I told myself in that one that I don't need that, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so it was funny how that's my mentality and my mindset. I can switch it, you know. I'll tell myself, you know, that this is going to make you more dangerous and all that. And I believed it. I went into Fight Week. I probably would have talked to you before that fight, and I would have told you, like, hey, this is going to be the most dangerous I've ever been. And it turns out I didn't even pull the trigger. So that was I wouldn't say it was a lie because I believed that. Yeah. It just didn't happen. But all good, move on. That's not going to be the case this time.
Well, Alex, let's focus on this weekend then. And I feel like this fight against Ilia Topuria on Sunday is like when an immovable object faces an unstoppable force, right? On one side, you've got Ilia Topuria, undefeated, an 85% finish rate. And on the other side, you've got yourself, the long-time champion, also undefeated at featherweight, one of the classiest champions we've ever seen. Just regarding the magnitude of this fight, this could be one of the most epic showdowns the featherweight division's ever seen. Does that excite you?
Yeah, of course it does. You know, the hype is real with this one. You know, everyone wants to see how the bounce back's going to be for me, and then this young, hungry prospect who's undefeated, which is perfect. You know, look, the way I look at it is, I've proved myself, against the best in the world many times. He hasn't had the chance to do that yet. He gets to see and test himself now. So we'll see if he is an immovable object or, unstoppable. We'll see that, you know what I mean? Because now he's going to be really put to the test. So that's the difference. I've proved myself. He hasn't yet, but that's what's exciting. Is this the kid to do it? You know, is he as good as he says, or what his record's showing? That's the question. Or is he done? You know what I mean? So that makes this whole story a lot bigger, and it's going to make my victory even better. So I don't mind the doubt. As I always say, I thrive when obviously I'm not the underdog, but I mean when people are doubting me. I love that. It makes me, I don't know, I'm driven by that. But it adds to the story, especially for the point of my career right now. After that loss, this is perfect. Me coming back to my division, go out there taking out undefeated prospect is just unreal. And I think the hype is there. A lot of people are going to be tuning in, and can't wait to show them and remind them.
Well, he is the pride of Spain, El Matador. Would you describe Ilia Topuria as the most dangerous title defence yet?
We'll see. I want to sit there and say that to you, that, to hype the fight up, you know what I mean? Look, I think he's dangerous. I think he's powerful. I think there might be some things that I could really talk up. But, I mean, at the same time, look at the people I've faced. Like, to say that he is the toughest, that's disrespectful to some of the best fighters in the world. Yeah. So he hasn't proved that to me yet. But we'll see. We'll see. He's a powerful puncher, but we'll see. We'll see how good he is. Like I said, I'm experienced. I've got the fight IQ. I'm in great nick. I'm expecting to go out there and really show him, what it's all about, what it's like at this top echelon. And let's see if he can live up to his hype, and let's see if he can handle it.
Well, he is dangerous everywhere. You just mentioned his knockout power. We've seen that recently in the UFC, but his first 7 victories all came by way of submission, so he's absolutely deadly everywhere. And it's not often you see such a lethal combination. So with that in mind, how do you approach this guy strategically?
Man, I'm just going to fight my fight. You know, I mean, obviously, as I've always prepare with every opponent, I believe the only way anyone beats me, especially in my division, is catching me, is landing a lucky punch, or like landing a punch. I don't like saying lucky punch, but landing something, catching me. I think that is a puncher's chance, right? I think that's the only way anyone can ever beat me in this division. And I've always thought that going into all my previous fights. You know, a lot of people obviously talking about you know, submissions that he's done and knockouts and all that. It's like, I don't care about any of them. So have a lot of my previous opponents. And then they step in front of me and they can't do anything. You know what I mean? And that's what I plan on doing to him. I'm going to show him, like, I don't care about the 14 fights you've had. That does not matter when you're stepping up against someone like me. So, again, he's going to be put to the test. I've been tested plenty of times and I've proven myself. He gets a chance to prove himself this weekend. But unfortunately for him, he's just a part of my story. Maybe his story starts after this. Like I said, he needs a bit of humbling, that I believe. You know, I'm not. You know, he's probably not that bad of a kid, but I think it is gone to his head. You see him with. I think he thinks he's a superstar already. He thinks he's the. He literally thinks he's the money fight already. Like some of the things he's saying, I go, he needs a rude awakening. He really does need some humbling, and I think that's going to make him a better fighter. I think it'll make him a better human, a better father. You name it. I think it'll just make him an all better person. So I'm going to do the man a favour. I'm going to teach him a lesson, and then maybe his story starts after that. Because right now, he's just a part of my story.
Well, okay, you mentioned that he needs a humbling. He's 14-0, but on his Instagram bio, he's actually got 15-0 UFC champion. And he's actually got a movie coming out shortly after the fight saying, well, that's titled Road to the Belt. He hasn't even won it yet. Have you ever seen confidence like this before?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he is already putting it there. It's like going, so I don't care the fact that he did that, but that just shows me where he's at. Like, he literally doesn't, he's happy getting things given to him. I've earned everything. I've earned my championship on my bio. I've earned all that stuff. In this documentary, it's like, who cares? This is just one chapter. Now they're going to need a couple of extra ones just so they can, they're going to need a 1-2 because he ain't getting it this time. So the road to the title, isn't going to be accomplished yet. So he's going to need another documentary after that one, which, again, this could be a big part of his story, where I go out there, teach him a lesson. That's his adversity. He wakes up to himself, realises he ain't a superstar, and he's going to, start getting into the gym and doing what counts first, and then earn his stripes. And then that's a second episode to their documentary. Look, I'm giving him some, bit of promotion here. Then he's going to have a sequel. Is that what you do? Like the one of a sequel? Yeah. So he's going to have one after that because he ain't getting the title this time, I guarantee you. And like I said, something that I'm a good guy, man. You know what I mean? I'm always looking out for everyone, even my opponents. So I'm going to do this so he can maybe one day be champion later, because he ain't going to be a great champion with that mentality he has and the way he carries himself. I don't really like it. I don't think that is someone that a great champion. Again, you've got to earn your stripes. You know what I mean? He thinks he's like I said, he thinks he's an absolute superstar already. I was like, mate, like, you bought your followers, settle down. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing anyway. But I mean, like, it's just earn everything. I've earned everything. I've earned my title. I've earned my everything. I've earned my followers, you name it. I've earned it all. And I just don't see him doing the same. So he needs a good lesson, and he'll thank me for this later.
Do you feel disrespected by his attitude?
Look, man, he's probably playing the game, like, and which is fine. So that's good, I think. But I mean, I just hope that he's just playing the game and he's not really like that. Because if he definitely wants to, say if he's a good kid and he's just playing the game, he's not going about it the right way. I think this is going to mess up. Maybe I'm going to play the game, but I think it's still got into his head. I think, I don't even know how much he's in the gym. It looks like he just does his own little sessions here and there and has a bunch of yes men around him. So, and he hasn't even got the title yet. You know what I mean? So, like I said, he's going to be the rude awakening. He's going to be taught a lesson, and then I think it's going to be the best thing for him. And he can thank me later.
So, do you think he's been given the silver spoon treatment, considering that he hasn't earned it, as you say?
I don't think I need to say it. I think it's I gave it to him. Right. You know what I mean? I literally walked out of that cage last year in July, and the UFC wasn't going to get him in the cage, but I wanted the face-off because I thought that's the fight I want next. I went up to him, jumped the fence, and you do the face-off. So remember, the UFC didn't want you to do that. I did. I made sure no one else fought you because I wanted to take that 0, because I wanted to teach you a lesson. I wanted to give you that humbling, and I wanted to challenge you. So it's as clear as that. So, but yeah, now he just thinks he's a man, and I'm gonna show him he's not.
Yeah, you've been calling out for a #1 contender for as long as you've been champion, and it's not often you see the champion remains the hunter, but I guess that's your mentality.
That's how I've always been, man. That's it, literally. I mean, even there's, like I said, there's playing the game, and then you've got things like him saying he doesn't want to fight all the contenders.
What do you make of that?
What is a great champion is like that. Like I pride myself and I try and be a great champion. You know what I mean? And when my time is done, I'm hoping that there's a great champion after me. And we definitely don't want a champion sitting there not wanting to fight all the top contenders. He wants to move into other divisions and all that. You get what I mean? So he wants to act all confident, yet he doesn't want to. Obviously, he needs to fight me. He has to. If he wants a belt, there's only one way of getting that, and that's fighting me. So it's easy to be confident and be like, oh, I want to fight this guy and do all this. But you're showing me that you ain't confident. You don't even want to fight the contenders if you get lucky and get that belt. You still don't want to take them challenges. That's just not my mentality, not my mindset. So again, I'm going to change that. This weekend, when I go out there do business, he's going to be, as I told you, taught a lesson. He's going to learn from it. And then one day he's going to want to challenge himself. He's going to bring it on, and he probably will be a fighter that will take on any challenge. Again, he might be able to be a great champion once I teach him a lesson this weekend.
What do you make of that Rose promo that he filmed? I mean, it was a bit Bachelor-esque. I know he wants to honour the tradition of the Matadors, but it was a bit strange, wasn't it?
It is weird. Like, because I was talking to the guys. I think so. He was born in Germany. I think he's Georgian.
Yeah.
And lived in Spain,
Yeah.
or something like that. So. Yeah, so, but he's just obviously claiming the whole Matador thing. But I don't get it. Like, I thought it was pretty romantic, you know. Like, but yeah, it's a Rose thing, I think, for the Matador. I think that's the thing, you know what I mean? But you see a lot of bulls take out their Matadors, you know what I mean, as well. So that's what I plan on doing.
And you are the bull this time around?
Oh yeah, I'm still the young bull, you know what I mean? Young bull in that old man outfit.
Yeah. Well, just on that old man outfit, you're not too bad for a promo yourself. Talk us through what happened with Sportsbet there.
Oh yeah, that was it was good fun. You know what I mean? It was just something that we brought up, and I go, yep, for sure, let's do it. That's going to be incredible. Yeah, man, everyone knows I'm pretty fun with all this. Obviously, I do all my serious stuff in the gym when I need to. But other than that, you know, I like to have fun, play around. That's the narrative people want to push. All right, I'll play it. I'll push it with you. So that's fine. You know, everyone's going to bring up stats and all that, and I've proven myself time and time again that stats don't matter with me. You know what I mean? Even with I think I've seen another stat that says so there's 15 and 6 so 15 wins from younger fighters in title fights over older fighters. So 15 wins and 6. And 5 in the featherweight division. And 5 of those 6 was me. So I proved that. So there's only been ever one more older champion beating a younger fighter in a title fight. Only one other than me. So the other 6 or other 5 was me. So it just shows you that if I wasn't around, that stat would be almost invincible. Well, you can't beat this stat, but I've been beating it the whole time.
You're showing that experience counts.
Oh, yeah, exactly right. You're exactly right. So I mean, with the right person. You know what I mean? For me, I'm a champion that, I'm getting older, but I'm more hungrier than these guys. You see him, like I told you, he's been a superstar. He does little FaceTime videos and suits up and does all that. Like, I know he's trying to play the part, but I'm too busy training and all that. I'll try and fit in, I'll do what I've got to do. I get it, you've got to do the promo work, but I feel like he's doing more of that stuff than actually training. So for me, it's just like, mate, I need to be in the gym. I take this serious. I've got more passion than half the young fellas. So that's why I'm trying to tell them, okay, these numbers don't mean nothing. Maybe with a champion that's getting over the sport and, and if the age thing is, but I think it's more the fact that, the fame and all those things sort of get to them, but it doesn't for me. I'm back home and I'm dad and I'm the fighter. I'm the guy in the gym, chatting everyone's ear off. More passionate than ever. That's how I've always been. I'm probably more passionate about this sport now than I was. Find me a champion at this age that's like that. So that's why I believe that. That's just a number. Watch this weekend, and then that narrative will be completely blown out of the water. And the narratives of me, is he done, and all this is going to be done. The narrative will be, what's next for Alex? There's no point in him fighting at featherweight.
Yeah.
He's absolutely mauling these guys. He needs to move back up. Just wait and see.
Well, you're right. You have remained humble. You've remained at Windang. We were just talking about...
That wasn't too humble, then, was it? But...
No, we were just talking to Joe about how you've remained loyal. You've stayed in the town. You haven't moved on to bigger gyms and bigger places. Do you think that certainly helped you in your career?
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Like, obviously, I'm lucky enough to be in a position where, you know, certain specific training partners we can bring to us. We can build a camp exactly around us, so the training's there. Every single drilling position I do in camp is specific for my fight.
Yeah.
So my focus is completely there with the same look of my opponent, and obviously you don't have to do all the, you know, it's going to be harder in the bigger gyms when you need to do, you need to do team classes and all that, because you can't just have them focusing on one. I'm lucky enough where we can change times and make sure that I'm getting the specific training, I'm getting the training partners. I'm lucky enough to have great training partners all year round, and then I can bring whoever we need as well. So in a very lucky position, so very proud of that and very happy, and in great condition for this one.
Yeah. Well, just lastly, Volk, I remember before that third Max Holloway fight, I remember you and I would talk a lot about vindication, right? Because your title reign up until that point had been disregarded, disrespected. It only took that masterclass at UFC 276 to finally make people realise, okay, Alexander Volkanovski deserves to be champion right now. He deserves to be here. And since then, you've had the MMA world at your feet. But ever since that loss to Islam, we're starting to see some of that disrespect or some of that doubt creep in, especially against a guy like Ilia. How do you respond to that?
Oh, mate, that's fine. Like, that's what makes this sport exciting. People quickly forget, but they are quickly reminded, and it's a roller coaster. Even for as a fighter in their career, it's a roller coaster, and then the emotions for the fans and all that, it's the same. You know, because literally the day before I fought him, I was invincible, and then obviously I fight on 11 days notice, you know what I mean, and that happens, then all of a sudden I'm a completely different fighter. So it just shows you how quickly people forget, and again, I'm okay with that because that's just hyped up this fight even more, and it's just going to add to my story and a better, you know, it's going to be a lot better ending as well. So I think I always look at everything that's happened from early in my career, that it all happens for a reason. I'm a big believer in that, and this is just a part of it. That little hiccup, maybe it was for me to just kick things back into gear and then get me to go and do what I plan on doing this weekend, and then moving on from there. I'm telling you, even that lightweight division, I'm not done with that yet either. So right now, obviously, I'm a realist. I'm going to be realistic. I'm not expecting any rematches straight away, but I'm going to go do business this weekend, and then you'll see me in the lightweight division in the near future, and then everyone will be obviously back on the narrative where they can see me double champ.
It'd make a great documentary.
Oh, it would, yes, exactly right.
Alex Volkanovski, thanks for your time. Enjoy the week.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, he thinks his opponent needs some humbling, but what does Ilia Topuria have to think? We're going to catch up with him right here just after the break. But as we mentioned in that interview, Volk has teamed up with Sportsbet to see if he can indeed break that over 35 curse. Here's the clip that everyone's been talking about.
Volkanovski too old. Don't make a headline out of anything these days, huh? All this talk about the over 35 curse, it's nonsense. Has anyone seen my belt? Anyone seen my belt?
Sorry, Volk's here.
No, not that, but my trouser belt. Oh, yeah. And the elastic's gone on these slacks. Yeah, I'm a little worried about my cauliflowers.
Oh, they're not too bad, mate. I reckon I've seen fighters with way worse ears than...
Mate, I'm talking about the veggies, you smart ass. Yeah, I don't know what his deal is with the roses thing. I grow my own. Hey, Dal, they still haven't taken in their bins. Got basil, grow orchids, Mrs. loves the orchids. Got some tomatoes, you name it, got it all. I'll tell you what, smells like victory.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
A new challenger has emerged from the shores of Alicante.
Huge combination for the Spaniard.
Known as El Matador, Spain's Ilia Topuria stands at 14-0.
There's a reason why he's undefeated. The guy goes out there and gets it done, and he gets it done by finishing people.
He closes his show. The guy's a killer.
With 12 finishes and sights set on the featherweight belt.
Soy muy peligroso.
The game plan was simple, come in and take his head off.
Unbelievable knockout.
That was the game plan.
This man is truly frightening.
Still undefeated.
tienes que tener cuidado en cada segundo que pasas conmigo en el octógono.
No one can match my level of skill. I come to take that UFC belt. Oh! And I want to show Alex when his war's gonna end and mine's gonna start.
Welcome back to Fight Week on Fox. Now, not since the notorious Conor McGregor has the featherweight division seen a contender tear through the rankings like this. Ilia Topuria has his sights on the belt this weekend at UFC 298. Here's my conversation with El Matador. Ilia, thanks so much for your time on Fox Sports. It's great to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
Now, you are undefeated. You've absolutely torn through this featherweight division and you're about to fight for your first UFC championship. Tell me, what's it like to be Ilia Topuria right now?
So right now to be Ilia Topuria, it's great because I'm living the dream. I'm living a great moments. I'm living moments that I visualize and I dreamed. I asked to God for these moments, for this kind of opportunities, and I'm happy to be able to live it.
Of your 14 victories inside the Octagon, 12 of them have been via knockout or submission. That's 85%. That's almost unheard of. Yeah. How are you so dangerous?
I don't know. God gave me this power. I don't know. He gave me everything I have. So I put a lot of hard work in every training camp, a lot of dedication. I didn't have anything gifted, you know. I trained a lot for everything I got in this life.
Now, I do need to ask you about your Instagram bio. You've written 15-0 UFC champion. You don't even have the belt yet, Ilia. Do you realize that?
Yeah, I know, but that's something I really believe that it's gonna happen, and I just felt that way, and I did it. I didn't know that it would have so many controversy, but this is how I feel. I feel already as a winner, as a UFC world champion, and not since now, since a long time ago. I felt that my days would come one day, and here we are.
Well, the man that you're fighting this weekend, our very own Alexander Volkanovski, he's a national hero for us and also undefeated at featherweight. What makes you so sure you're going to beat a legend like him?
So, he's undefeated in the featherweight division. But I'm undefeated in the featherweight, in the lightweight, in the bantamweight, in every weight division. I respect him as a fighter. He's one of the greatest featherweights. He, without any doubt, gonna stay in the featherweight books for the entire life, for everything he has achieved. But he already has accomplished his dream, and I have to accomplish mine. That's the difference between me and him, and I'm hungrier than him.
What makes you think you're hungrier than him, though?
That I wanna achieve this goal. I wanna become my dreams to reality, something that he already did in the past. So.
I saw you take the belt a little earlier today. Did you?
Yeah.
I mean, some people don't like to touch it unless they've won it yet, but you clearly don't believe that.
Some people, but I'm not that kind of people. I'm different. The difference between me and the others is that they have to see it to believe it. I believe it and then I see it. That's the difference between me and the other people.
Well, I can tell you a lot of people back home in Australia have thought it was a bit disrespectful the way that you've carried yourself in the lead up to this fight. How do you respond to it?
I understand all the hate I'm receiving from Australia because I'm gonna fight a guy who represents Australia, which is very normal, and I respect that fact too, and it has to be like that, you know. But this is just part of the game. It's our job. We are professionals, you know. I don't hate him. I respect him as a human being. He's fighting for give a better life to his family. I'm doing the same thing. He's a great professional. I'm a great professional too. So I hope all the fans gonna enjoy the fight, and they hate me, but they have to think about the fact that I'm making them very excited. They're gonna have a good and huge plans for this Saturday night.
Absolutely, this Sunday, of course, over in Australia. But we spoke to Alex a little earlier, and he said that you might need a bit of humbling. Do you feel as though you lack humility, though, Ilia?
I don't feel that way. I feel like I'm nice to everyone who surrounds me. Mm-hmm. But if he feels that way, he can try to do it. Once they're gonna close us in the octagon, we are going to be just two men in the octagon. So if he thinks that I need the humbling and he can do it, just try it, man. Try it. I have many doubts that he will be able to humble me. I think I'm gonna put his lights out in the first round.
Really?
Yeah, I truly believe that.
Well, tactically, strategically, how do you assess Alex Volkanovski, and why do you think that you're going to be able to put him away?
I feel that I'm better than him anywhere. I feel that I'm better than him in the striking, the wrestling, in the ground. I'm just better than him. I just represent the evolution of the mixed martial arts. I represent the new generation of mixed martial arts. I trained so hard for this fight, so hard. And I was watching him since I started almost in the sport, because he was a champion. Since I started in the UFC, he was a champion. So I always had him in my mind. So the person that I know most in the division, it's him.
Yeah.
So it's not just I did this training camp for him. Since I started in the UFC, I was training for him.
Wow. He's been in your sights.
Yeah, because I know that one day I would face him. So the day has arrived, and I can't wait.
I said just now that not since the notorious Conor McGregor has the featherweight division seen a contender absolutely tear through the rankings like this. Are you the new Conor McGregor?
I'm the new Ilia Topuria. I don't want to compare myself with anyone else. The people does it. They like to do this kind of things. I don't like to do it. I'm just myself.
This is a serious question. Have you ever lost in anything in your life, Ilia? Do you know what defeat tastes like?
Of course, I lost in so many things in my life. You don't always win, right? You lose in relationships, and I don't know. You lose in so many things. I'm just undefeated in my professional career.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can't wait to see you in action this weekend, Ilia. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much, and I understand the fact that they are supporting Alex, but I hope the people are gonna understand what I have to do to him. I have to knock him out in the first round, so I hope they're gonna understand it.
Well, no matter what, they will be watching this Sunday at 2 p.m. Australia time. Thanks so much for your time.
I hope they enjoy it.
There he was, the pride of Spain. Up next, Australia's first ever UFC champion, Robert Whittaker, finally faces Brazil's Paulo Costa.
I'm 33. I put a time limit on myself to 36. That's kind of where I want to, I've got a one-way ticket. No one beats time. I've got no way to turn back now. In the last 2 years, there's been a lot of ups and downs, but I do believe I'm in the prime of my career right now. My physical ability and my mental ability and my experience is all kind of molding in one. The truth is, even with the lost last fight, I'm never far away. I'm still the most dangerous person in the division. I've been thinking I could beat Costa for years. It's time just to show people I can. I think I'm faster than he is. I think my skills are better than his, and I intend to go to war with him. Winning is the ticket that'll get you everywhere. After a loss, mate, I want that win more than ever. I'm focusing on just winning that belt back. My ambitions and my motivations have never been higher.
Robert the Reaper!
Yeah, and that ambition and motivation was clear to see when I sat down with Australia's first UFC champion. Here's that conversation now with the Reaper. Well, Robert Whittaker, welcome to California, and thanks for your time on Main Event.
Pleasure, mate. It's a pleasure. I was just hanging around anyway.
Now, for most of the last decade, the UFC middleweight division has been run by yourself and Israel Adesanya. But right now, I kind of feel like we're in the midst of a changing of the guard almost, with your Dricus du Plessis, your Sean Stricklands, your Brendan Allens coming through now. Your fight this weekend against Paulo Costa, I kind of feel like is a fight to stay in that conversation almost for both of you, right? For the winner, you're still within touching distance of that title. for the loser, it might be a bit of a long way back. Is that how you're looking at this fight?
No, not at all, not at all. It's a hard fight for me and Paulo. It's going to be a hard fight and a hard test for both of us. This is the logical fight. We're supposed to have fought each other multiple times at this point. And I guess in a sense it is a bit of like the old guard fighting, because we're names that have been in that conversation for so long. And as you just mentioned, that the mix-up in the top of the food chain is changing. There's your Sean Stricklands, your Drickuses and everybody else jumping up. But, mate, honestly, the only thing that matters is just getting in there and getting a win on the weekend. There's not much else to say. Winning opens up every door, whereas, you know, losing is a bit of a speed bump.
Does the new guard excite you?
Mate, I love the movement. I love the opportunity that it opens up for everybody in the middleweight division. I think that's one of the most exciting aspects of the UFC is just opportunity. You know, you see young guys getting a shot, coming in, making big waves and getting title shots within the year. We've seen that multiple times, just being in the right place at the right time or putting on a good performance at the right time. It can change the trajectory of your career entirely. So, mate, yeah, I think all movement is good.
Well, your last fight was the first time in about 10 years that you lost to somebody not named Israel Adesanya, and that surprised a lot of people. I remember you came out really strong in that first round, and we were saying in the back it's just going to be another 15-minute masterclass, as it was against Marvin Vettori. Was there an issue with your conditioning in that fight, and has that been rectified at all?
There were several things I wasn't happy with in preparation leading up to it, you know, but everything is 20/20 in hindsight. So I guess we can look back now and say, yeah, the camp wasn't optimal, but it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, everything could have been right and I still would have lost. You don't know, until you do. So we went in there, he showed up, I unfortunately did not, and the result is as follows.
Dricus du Plessis shocked us all that night, but he continues to surprise us. The man is champion now. Does that surprise you?
Hard to say. Like he surprised me by beating me, right? and mate, Strickland is a fight he can win, though. No, it's hard to say. Like as shocking as it isn't in a way. After fighting him, I understand how awkward he was, how strong and hungry and determined he was. So I think him going up against Sean Strickland matches him favourably.
Does he beat Israel?
Maybe. Like before Sean beat Israel, like no one would have said he would have beat him, right? You know, before, yeah, it just maybe he does.
All right, well, you mentioned your opponent for this weekend a little early. Let's turn our focus towards him. Paulo Costa is a guy for whom you've prepared twice. Hopefully third time's the charm.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It's like I said, it's a fight that has always made sense to us, and especially now. And yeah, I'm glad we're almost there.
You mentioned earlier your dedication. Ever since your last fight, you told me that you've been in like a monk state almost, that you've been so dedicated and devoted to your purpose and you've been training the house down every single day. What is different about this Robert Whittaker sitting in front of me, and why is he better than all Robert Whittakers that have gone before?
Well, I think a big thing was after the loss with Dricus, and you know, like I said, we looked at the camp that had just passed, and we with 20/20 vision. Yeah. And we picked apart what we liked and disliked, and where I was at the point of the fight and where I am now. And honestly, a big part of the answer was just getting in there with some doggedness in there, just getting in there with tenacity. And mate, that started by throwing myself back at the training, throwing myself back on the mats. And honestly, since that Dricus fight, I've done nothing but train. I've been doing nothing but train. I've been enjoying it. We've implemented new sessions. I've been training differently at some sessions. You know, we've taken some sessions out for now. We've just, I don't know, put in that work. And I can truthfully say, like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, everything that has led up to today has brought out, you know, I'm a happy fighter. I'm strong. I'm healthy. Everything's flying. So, yeah, I look forward to getting in there and putting some work on him.
Well, your opponent, Paulo Costa, the Brazilian, you have looked, as you mentioned, very dedicated, but at times, and with respect to him, he has looked like almost the opposite. Sometimes it's been weight misses, it's been pull-outs, and I know some of those have been due to injury, so they were unavoidable, but it's been trolling, it's been tweets. Does his personality make you want to get in there and hurt him even more?
Not really, because like I really want to hurt him already, right? And I don't even know the guy. I don't know his personality. I don't go online and I don't follow the guy. Like I don't really understand the grounding in which like everyone tells me his online personality, yada yada yada. And like I mentioned, aside from that, I already want to hurt him. You know, he's already in the crosshairs.
Why do you want to hurt him so bad?
Because I think that's an aspect that I, loosened the grip, like loosened the reins on last fight. I feel like I was kind of just in there with a headspace of just going to work. And I think that's, I don't know, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So, I've just kind of brought back in some of that hostility, some of that aggression. And, mate, the objective isn't to win on the weekend. The objective is to hurt Costa.
Are you going in there angry?
Nah. Like, there's a difference between being aggressive and, wanting to hurt your opponent than being angry. I'm not controlled by emotion. You've seen me in the Octagon too many times for me to be, make such a rookie error.
What do you think his mentality is going to be like going in there? He obviously hasn't been very active recently.
Mate, it's never stopped him before. I'm expecting the best version of him, of Paulo Costa, arriving at the, on Saturday. He's an athlete. He's a fighter. He knows what he's doing. He's been in these fights. He's been in massive fights before. He understands the task that's ahead of him. I just don't think he truly understands who's going to be standing opposite him.
Well, he started his career 13-0, and we saw how dangerous he was, how much strength he has. What do you need to be wary of when you fight a guy like Paulo Costa?
He's a power puncher. He's got power in his hands, he's got power in his kicks. And he's the sort of guy that if you let dictate the fight, he'll do that. He'll do exactly that. But yeah, it's quite simple to put an obstacle in his in his path, and that's just by taking it to him, beating him up, like not giving him space, not letting him do what he wants.
Do you think Luke Rockhold did that, played into his game a little bit too much?
Oh, mate, you saw that fight. Like, I don't know what Luke Rockhold was doing, with respect to him, but like that, there were moments in that fight that he just didn't look like he wanted to be there. And again, in hindsight, you can tell he didn't want to be there. He said he didn't want to do this anymore straight after the fight. Like halfway through the fight, he didn't want to be there. And I'm pretty sure he said, I don't want to do this. And then that was his last MMA fight at the moment. So, yeah, it's hard to gauge too much off that.
Yeah. Does that make it more difficult for you then to prepare for him because he has been so inactive?
No, not at all. I'm focusing on what I do best. I'm focusing on my game plan and my delivery of my weapons. And yeah, he can worry about that.
Well, it's not as if you haven't fought anyone with his style before. I mean, you went 10 rounds with Yoel Romero, for goodness sake. Mm-hmm. Do you think the experience in the championship rounds against a guy like Yoel puts you in good stead against the Brazilian Paulo Costa?
I think the experience against all my opponents puts me in good stead. Experience is just cumulative, right? The fight with Dricus, whilst I lost, I take that on board now. I've fought tough, strong guys that won't go away. I've fought guys like Yoel. I've fought other tough studs like Vittori that you just can't put away, like Gaslam that just don't go away and hound you the entire time. So I've fought these guys before, and it all leads to the same conclusion, like fighting Costa, taking that experience into the fight and putting in the work.
Is this the best Robert Whittaker that we've ever seen?
I would like to think so, mate. Everything feels good. Everything's firing well. And, mate, I feel strong. I feel hungry. And I can't wait. I can't wait till the weekend.
I saw you mentioned in another interview that you are chasing a finish, that you really want to finish Paulo Costa. Why is that so important to you?
Because that's what I've trained for the entire camp. The entire camp, like I said before, the objective isn't to win, it's to hurt Costa. And I've trained for months to just try and take his head off. And I'll be upset if it doesn't get taken off.
He hasn't been tested on the ground very much. Do you see that as a route to victory for yourself?
I think skill set, I think if we're talking about skill sets, I'm better across the board. I believe that my jiu-jitsu is better, my wrestling's better, my striking's better. I just think I'm a better fighter than he is. I think I'm a more complete fighter than he is. So in this fight, I'm going to do what I do best, and that's fight. And if the fight goes in any of those directions, I'll beat him at it.
Well, we can't wait to see it. Robert Whittaker will speak to you as the week goes on, but enjoy the next few days.
Thank you very much.
He looks focused and ready. On the other side of that co-main event is Brazil's Paulo Costa. We'll speak to him right after this. But as we go to the break, let's take a look at Alexander Volkanovski's best moments in the Octagon in our top 5 power plays, presented by Musashi.
Alexander Volkanovski, 16 consecutive wins.
Volkanovski is fighting a fantastic fight. Perfect fight.
The winner by unanimous decision, Alexander the Great Volkanovski. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the undisputed UFC featherweight champion, Alexander Volkanovski. And tonight he believes he has drawn the man in this division with the highest danger factor in Yair Rodriguez. Big right for Volk. Yair's in real trouble. There he is. That's it. It's over. Looked like Rodriguez trying to close the distance. Never do it. And still, Alexander Volkanovski. Championship main event is upon us. Brian T. City Ortega, Alexander Volkanovski in the black and gold befitting a champion. He's out. Wow, what a rally. Championship medal from Volkanovski. Oh my goodness, that is tight. It's gonna go for the arm. Oh yeah. Are you kidding me right now? And still. They are two of the very best featherweights of all time, Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. They are set to engage for the third time.
He just keeps getting better. That's the bottom line. He's done it with that left hand.
That shot opened up a big cut. Oh, that's bad. The champion Alexander Volkanovski with a signature performance tonight. Well, unbeaten at 145 pounds for nearly 7 years, Hawaii's Max Holloway ready to take on the next challenger, Alexander Volkanovski.
Nice low kick by Volkanovski. He really dug into that one. The whole leg is getting chewed up.
Volkanovski picking his spots beautifully here.
What a fight.
And new undisputed UFC featherweight champion of the world.
Welcome back to Fight Week on Fox here in Los Angeles. Well, Paulo Costa began his MMA career 13-0. Gets a chance against Australia's Robert Whittaker this weekend. So here's my chat with Bocatinha. Well, Paulo, it's great to finally meet you. Thanks so much for your time on Fox Sports Australia.
Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to me.
I noticed you've got the Secret Juice shirt on. If you could just explain to the Australians who might not know what the Secret Juice is, what is it?
Secret Juice is my secret. To be strong in jacket, to be in shape. I'm a very muscular guy, not so common in the middleweight, division. You see so muscular, so big guy like me. So, yes, and this helped me to carry weight, to stay healthy, to get some muscle, even to recover faster. So, Secret Juice.
Now, you refuse to let anyone know what's in it.
This is secret.
Now, I remember the first video that you put up with it when you said it makes you strong in jacket.
Yeah.
It was sort of like a clear brownish color. It looked to have like some ginger in it. But at other times, I've seen it's red, and sometimes it's like a different color.
Yes,
What's going on here?
Because some ingredients can change the color and the flavor for different situations. Like if you want to cut more weight, if you want to, you understand?
Okay.
But the base is the same. The base is the same. It's kind of ginger, lemon. It's very healthy. You should try.
Well, maybe
I will make sure to bring for you.
Please, yeah. We'll try it on the show. But I mean, if you make it commercially available, you're going to have to reveal what the ingredients are, right? Because there's an ingredients list there.
No, not really. No, we're going to find a way to, you know, to hide something. Yeah. You always find a way to keep something secret. It's amazing. You're going to love.
All right, well, I can't wait for it. But let's switch focus to this weekend. Now, this is a fight that we were supposed to see a couple of times now. How excited are you to finally be fighting Robert Whittaker this weekend?
So happy. The happy is the word that solidify that and translate what I'm feeling right now. You know, I did 2 training camps with no fights, but finally the third one gonna happen.
You mentioned
Thanks God for that.
Yeah, you mentioned the 2 training camps, and we were so excited to see you against Khamzat Chimaev in Abu Dhabi. That fight never took place, and we haven't seen you as often as we would have liked. Are you worried, Paulo, that the inactivity might work against you?
No, not really, because I have been prepared for all these fights. You know, even against Chimaev, I was prepared to fight him. The fight not happened. I was sharp. I was very prepared to fight. You know, so this don't compromise my skill set or my condition. You know, fight is different than training in facilities, something in the gym. So, of course, you always feel that emotion. You know, the vibration of the crowd. But at the end, if you are prepared, you prepare.
Ariel Helwani reported the other day that the UFC was planning to have Leon Edwards and Khamzat Chimaev be the main event of UFC 300. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't give a I don't care. Sorry.
No,
I don't care. I don't care. You know, I just don't think it's fair to have him fight for the middleweight belt because he didn't beat anybody in the top 15 ever. So he showed it's so different middleweight to featherweight.
Yeah.
He should fight somebody at middleweight to think about the belt. But after beat Whittaker, I'm gonna be the next in the line.
Okay. Well, look, Paulo,
for the middleweight belt. Beating Whittaker, I'm gonna be the next in the line for middleweight.
You think you get a title shot if you beat Rob this weekend?
For sure. Because I'm a popular guy. I fight the way the people like to watch.
Yeah.
And beating Whittaker, I have no other way to go than fight for the belt.
That's so true, Paulo. You have such great experience and such a great fight style inside the Octagon. But your last victory was against Luke Rockhold in his retirement fight. And before that, it was Yoel Romero 5 years ago. Why should people still believe that Paulo Costa is championship material?
Because I'm going to prove on Saturday. The people are going to see. We're going to have the real test on Saturday or Sunday for Australians, right?
Well, your opponent this weekend, as you mentioned, is our national hero, Robert Whittaker. I mean, what are your thoughts on Rob, both as a fighter and a person?
I feel bad for you Australians, guy, but I'm going to beat you, boy. Sorry, I love you guys. I love Australia. I have been Melbourne. It's such a nice place, amazing, wonderful people, but I'm going to beat you, boy. After that, we become friends again.
Friends again, and you can lend us the secret juice. We spoke to Rob a little earlier, and he said that he wants to hurt you this weekend, and he's hunting the finish. Do you want to hurt Robert Whittaker?
I actually don't want to hurt him.
Right.
Not at all, but it would be a consequence. You know, I'm gonna fight to finish.
Yeah.
I'm not the kind of guy who won fight by decisions.
You've got such a great online personality, and the fans, you're certainly a fan favorite. But Robert Whittaker is somebody, well, you haven't really taken too much aim at him. So is it fair to say that you respect Rob more so than some other fighters?
Yes, sure. Yeah, he looks very nice guy. But above all, I think Ariel Helwani mentioned that. I think this is the people main event. Right?
Yeah.
The people main event. So I'm so happy and excited to bring a great show for you guys. Don't miss that.
Well, Paulo, give us a prediction then. How are you going to get it done this weekend?
Until the second round. In the first or second round by fast way. Like I would say knockout.
Okay. All right. Well, Paulo Costa, we've got to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Can't wait to see you this weekend.
My pleasure.
All the best. Thanks so much for your company here on Fox Sports. Plenty more to come before Alexander Volkanovski and Ilia Topuria take to the Octagon this weekend. On Friday, we've got the press conference. On Saturday, the weigh-ins before Sunday's main event, which you can order at mainevent.com.au. We'll see you then.